Hi everyone, Tony from Act the Movies here, and today we're going to be talking about Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, and how it's way better than the first.
I don't know if it's way better than the first, but I definitely love it.
Well, then we're going to figure out if that's true or not in this episode of Hack the Movies. Hello, Monica.
Hi.
We're back. It's Hellboy week on the channel.
It is.
Yeah, 2 episodes this week, 3 movies. I didn't want to group this one with the other movies. I really like this one, and I'm like, let's show
Wait,
some.
have you seen this before?
Hellboy 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the way you said it, like, I don't know. I thought maybe
Oh no, you're
you were
staring at
shocked.
my 3-disc.
You have
set.
so many movies here. I don't know.
No, this is the 3-disc special edition. See, it has the Mike Mignola art and Ron Perlman's face.
I don't like that stuff.
Huh?
I don't like that material. Don't do it.
Okay. I will not rub the, what do they call it, lenticular? I will not rub
hate
the,
it so much.
the lenticular thing. I'll just leave it right there.
I'm sorry.
That
I'm
is-
screaming.
That is the angriest I've ever seen.
I'm just gonna be like freaking out over here if you just did it.
Okay, well, we're less than a minute in. We've almost fought, and I just realized now I forgot to change the color on the sign. There we go.
We're doing great, guys.
Hellboy 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hellboy 1, I think, was like a modest hit. I'm guessing it did well on video. It did well enough, I guess, to justify this sequel. And this sequel came off of Guillermo del Toro doing like Pan's Labyrinth, which was like hugely praised.
Well, I'm sure that probably helped too.
That helped too, and he really wanted to make this. And at this time, he's trying to develop The Hobbit. Didn't work out that way, but you know, he's trying. So yeah, they did a sequel to Hellboy 2, and I was pumped for this when it came out. I loved Hellboy 1. Did you see this in theaters?
I do remember seeing this in theaters.
Yes, I saw this. I saw this with Johann in theaters.
Okay, I was worried you were going to say we saw it together.
No, I did not see it with you. I did not see it with you.
I remember seeing it in theaters. Don't remember with who.
I will say, speaking of movies that we mentioned seeing together, they are doing another Silent Hill. We should do the first Silent Hill movie.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're bringing that director back from the first one to do the
Why?
new one. People really like that Silent Hill movie. And everyone forgot what the second one even exists.
I occasionally remember it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we saw this in theaters. I loved it. We all had a great time. It came out, I think I said July 11th. And it did okay at
2008.
first.
Let's put that a year.
2008, July 11th, 2008. Did pretty okay. Wasn't like killing it. And then like a week or two later, Dark Knight comes out. And no one was bothering to see it.
I mean, some people probably went and saw it. It just wasn't the same numbers.
Yeah, it's just if you missed Hellboy 2 and Dark Knight's out, you're going to see Dark Knight instead. Even if you loved Hellboy 2 like I did, I'm like, well, I'm not going to rewatch it. I'll wait till video. I'll get the 3-disc DVD set, but I won't touch the cover of it.
Don't.
But yeah, so I think that really hurt the film. Not as much as Dark Knight killed the second X-Files movie's box office. If I remember right, that came out the week after Dark Knight. Yeah, no one was really... And it wasn't a good movie on top of it.
I feel like people, like, in movies, they probably weren't expecting... It's like, oh, it's another Batman movie. Like, it's just going to do okay. And then it kind of blew all these movies out of the water.
Yeah,
and
no,
like,
it did super well. Which is a shame, because this movie is really, really great. And it should have been, like, up there with, like, because Iron Man was lucky and came out months before The Dark Knight. But you have, like, Iron Man, the Dark Knight.
Yeah, that big, like, beginning boom of the superhero movies.
Yeah, well, like,
back.
yeah. The next wave. This is like, we're about to enter the MCU now with Iron Man.
Yeah,
here.
sorry, that's...
Yeah, because there was, like, the early 2000s, your
Like
X-Men,
the X-Men,
Spider-Mans, and
yeah.
now they're, like, turning into something else. And now there's just too goddamn many of them.
There's a lot. There's a lot to keep up with.
Oh, you're still keeping up? I tapped out of a lot of stuff.
I mean, I'll watch stuff later. Like, I don't go rush to watch it the first day or go see it in theaters. Like,
That's what I said, and that I still haven't gotten around to Werewolf by Night, The Marvels, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk,
I've checked all those out.
Secret Invasion, I think they called
I
it.
tapped out on that one.
Yeah.
I love Agatha all along.
I got 2 episodes in. I wasn't hating it, but I'm like, oh, maybe I'll finish it. I'm like, or I'll watch something else. It depends. It's just too much right now. I'm glad they scaled it back a little bit. But anyway, Hellboy 2. Oh, and the reason we're reviewing this is because they released another Hellboy movie.
Yeah, there's a brand new, spanking new one out.
And we covered the first one for its 20th anniversary, and I said, fuck it, let's just do them all. Let's do Hellboy.
There's not that many.
Let's do Hellboy 2, and then let's group the other ones together. I forgot about the animated ones.
Okay, well, that's a different beast, okay?
So what you're saying is we have to do another Hellboy episode after these 2.
I love the animated ones, okay? They're good.
Okay. Well,
they're enjoyable.
After this week, we'll find another time to do the animated ones. But anyway, Hellboy 2. Once again, directed by Guillermo del Toro. Mike, what's his name? Mike
Mignola?
Yeah, he worked on the story, but I'm gathering he didn't really work on the script too much. It says story by... Yeah, so he helped develop the story, but Guillermo del Toro wrote the script for this. Ah! Oh my god!
You knocked Hellboy over.
I'm sorry.
I know, he's very top-heavy.
Your stupid comic-accurate, tiny goat legs Hellboy can't control himself.
When will they bring that into the movies?
I was shocked they didn't bring it into any of these new ones. But yeah, he's back, baby. And he's going full on Del Toro. He's really making this thing his own. We get a text update on Hellboy for all the people who might have skipped the first movie. It's like, Hellboy, he's the thing. He showed up in the 40s. Something about Cthulhu. There was a bald guy. I think one of them was a robot. He's here now.
Pretty sure that's not what it said.
That's exactly what it said verbatim. Yeah. I wrote it down. Now we get a flashback to Hellboy's early childhood.
Yeah, I don't like this.
You don't like little kid Hellboy?
Freaks me out. And child Hellboy is actually a 36-year-old woman. Which
what?
Yes.
Okay, that may be why it everything about it was unsettling. What really freaked me out was that
the buck teeth.
The buck teeth, but you could tell the mouth. The ADR was not matching the mouth because the mouth physically couldn't make those words. Movements. So I'm just and my brain knows that. My brain is he's not saying that. Yeah. I don't like it. There's a disconnect.
I want a story then.
No stories tonight.
Just one, and then I'll go to bed.
I like the idea of the scene.
The idea is cute.
No.
It's just the woman playing child Hellboy just really freaked me out.
I thought that was a little kid this whole time.
When I was trying to fact check some stuff, that popped up, that little nugget of information, and I was like, oh, okay.
But it's also an excuse to have John Hurt come back.
Yeah.
As Professor Broom. Hellboy loves Howdy Doody.
He sure does.
He really loves Howdy Doody. And I have it here, Kid Hellboy looks odd, and I think you've solved that mystery. So he wants to hear a story, and Professor Broom's like, all right, I'll tell you this whole story. And
they're pretty extreme.
Yes, and he's like, hey, while you're listening to the story, imagine it's all being told by puppets.
But I did love those puppets.
Those were really cool. I like this.
Really cool scene.
They look like the puppets he used to help sketch, the little figure puppet. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
When you're an artist, you buy those wooden. They kind of reminded me of that. Yeah. So he tells him this whole story about this one-armed king. Who was warring with humans. The humans and the fairy tale creatures were not getting along. Humans
surprise.
All these stories, they're always and then the humans drove him back. I'm just we didn't even split the atom yet. How the fuck did we fight a guard?
I know. We really just ruined everything.
I'm you guys have fire and your magic and
spells.
Did we use magic? Wouldn't that make us weird fairy tale creatures? Now you guys were just so good with your swords.
We just had so many people.
I guess so. And I'm well, that's kind of on you, fairy tale creatures. Why didn't you thin the herd? That's on you. You let this population get out of control. And now the tooth fairies are starving. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, so they were going to war with each other. Then a goblin
Mhm.
goes to the elf king with the robot arm, and he's like, I'm going to make you robots, and they're going to be gold and indestructible, which he keeps saying
They're not
industrial. He keeps
technically
calling them.
robots, though.
Yeah, they're kind of robots.
They're like clockwork machines. They got like cogs and gears and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a robot made
Okay.
of clockwork stuff.
It's early robots.
Yes, it's a very early. What I mean, like, what does a robot need to be
Okay, I
made
feel like
out
we
of?
should not stay on this topic.
What is a robot to you, Monica? Okay.
Wires, machinery, like
How do you
connects
watch?
to.
How do you watch Alien or Blade Runner? When they're spitting out like milk and shit. I guess the
They have
alien
the
robot.
like wires in them.
Yeah, I
still.
guess they have wire. Well, Blade Runner, they don't. They're basically clones. But anyway. Okay, well, these, whatever they are, the Golden Army, these big robotic structures.
Fine, we're gonna go with robotics just to keep this moving.
Point is, this goblin's like, yeah, I'll make you this army.
Yeah.
It'll be really cool, and I'll make you a crown, and you can control them. And the king's just like, yeah, all right, go ahead. Go ahead, little guy.
Go for it.
So the goblin does it. At no point is the king just like, wait, are you making anyone else an army? Are there limits to how many you can make? What's the rule here? Instead, he's like, nah, just go ahead, do it. So yeah, they make the Golden Army, and it dominates the humans. But then the king feels bad. He's
Yeah.
like, I guess I shouldn't have killed so
Aw.
many of them. And they make a truce, and they split up the crown, split into 3 parts. Humans have 1, the elves have 2, which seems a little unfair.
Yeah, it does. I feel like some other creature involved in this should have gotten the 3.
Yeah. Also, they probably should have killed that goblin because they're like, wait, he can just make more, can he? Can't he
I
make?
guess he apparently needs permission. Because, I mean, he doesn't the whole entire time.
You know, I bet you if there was a Hellboy 3, he would have been like a Sauron. He would have been like the one behind it all. Like, yes, I got them all. I have the one crown to rule them all. So the son, Nuada, doesn't like this plan.
No, he does not.
He's like, fuck you, Dad. I'm going to leave now. Bye.
I know, it was pretty dramatic. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not coming back until the forest creatures need me.
Yeah.
And that's how many years?
A long time. When you see how
Yeah.
much the world has changed, it's like, wow, he really slept on the forest creature.
He really was just like pieced out.
I love that it's just the
contacts.
forest creatures. It's like, what about the ocean or desert creatures? Like, oh, I'm gonna fuck about
No.
that.
I mean, he does not like Abe when he meets him, so I feel like he is prejudiced against ocean creatures.
We have to help the forest creatures, but not those dirty water creatures.
Ugh.
So yeah, we find out that somewhere the army is lying dormant, and then Del Toro goes a little overboard with his love of gears for the opening logo. It's just gears and cogs. And everything.
He really had a great time making this movie.
He really went. They were. I just love that they're like, you did Pan's Labyrinth and it did so well. What do you want to do? He's like, Hellboy 2, and they're like, oh, okay. Okay.
Alright, sure.
Somewhere someone's going like, fucker, couldn't you have done Blade 3? That would have been all. That would have been really good. We really got screwed.
There is a Blade Easter egg. in
Yes,
this
there
movie.
is. I think there's a couple. There's another guy from Blade 2 in this.
Oh,
Oh wait, an Easter egg.
yeah.
Oh, I know there's a few actors, but I didn't know there
No,
was.
no, there's a
Oh,
little Blade Easter egg.
You're gonna have to tell me when that
Yeah.
shows up. Yeah. So we meet the Prince Nuada, played by Luke Goss.
So this part kind of ruined the movie for me.
Right
No.
after the title scene, this ruined the movie for you.
No, I mean, listen. Back when I watched it the first time, didn't happen. I guess when I was trying to look something, I think I was trying to figure out who the actor was.
Yes.
And his IMDb photo looks like Pitbull. And that's all I could think of whenever I saw him pop up on screen. It's like Mr. Worldwide. And he's not. Like, Prince Nuada does not look like Pitbull. But if you see his IMDb photo, he looks like Pitbull.
Well, look, he is Luke Goss. He played what's his face, Nomak from Blade 2. He was the
Okay.
bad guy in Blade 2, and he was also in Tekken, the live-action Tekken movie.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, but you probably watched the episode I did on it earlier this year.
Yeah. Totally.
Thank you, because a lot of people didn't watch that episode. That episode did very poorly, which sucks because it's a really good episode. Me, Yoshi, and Cecil had a lot of fun with the live-action Tekken movie. The movie's not very good. But he's in it.
Okay.
You might be wondering, oh, I see him do a lot of cool fights in these movies. He doesn't really have a cool fight. I think he gets shot and dies in that one.
Aww.
The only way to find out if I'm telling the truth or not is to watch my Tekken episode.
Or I could just watch Tekken.
No, why would you do that? How would you do that? That's a horrible idea, Monica. He's doing cool ninja moves, and he's like in the subway. And
this cracks me up though, because I was like, you're telling me no one's noticed this half-naked elf doing his moves from the subway? Like,
the subway goes by, not one person's like, was that an elf?
Yeah. Like, you know, I used to take the L into the city.
Yeah.
And I would look out the window and, like, you'd still catch things in the subway if you're paying attention. Like, I think I would have noticed a half-naked man doing karate.
I always noticed them, but they weren't elves, so I just didn't pay any attention to it. The first time I got off, and I'm like, are you an elf? And they're like, no, I'm just crazy. I'm
and
like,
like,
oh.
he has his whole, like, cave set up and everything, and he's got Wink with him, the, like, big, I don't know what kind of creature he is. But I'm like, they have to do work on the subway and the tracks. Like, no one's come across his cave.
Oh, well, they mentioned later there's, like, a spell that they do. He probably
that
covers
makes
it
sense.
up. Yeah. Yeah, just threw your whole thing out there. Movie's perfect now. 5 stars.
All right, never mind.
All your notes are about how this breaks the universe.
God damn it! Forgot about magical creatures.
Well, I like when he like cuts
slices the
raindrop. But I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, how much water's pouring? It's probably not that impressive. You could probably do it on accident.
He's been doing it for a very long time, though.
Yeah, he meets with Mr. Wick, not John Wick. Mr. Wick, who is a troll? What is he?
I thought his name was Wink.
Oh, is it Wink?
Yeah.
Oh, I kept hearing Wick.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Wink.
Oh. Never mind. Mr. Wink. You know what? In my defense, he doesn't look like a Mr. Wick or a Mr. Wink. He looks like a Gorgamoth, the weird troll monster or whatever.
With his own big hand, right hand.
Yeah, he's got his own little metal hand. But yeah, he meets up. They're up to something.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I got this box full of hungry creatures. And then we see that there's a auction.
It took him a couple thousand years to find this box of hungry creatures, I guess.
Yeah, these magical creatures that live so long, they just take their time doing shit.
Although I'm probably messing it up because he said he was going to wait for them to come to him.
Oh.
So that's probably why.
Well, anyway, they go to an auction. They're trying to auction off a fat lady statue. It's like a fertility statue, among other things. And then Prince Nuada breaks in like a ninja.
Did you just call him Duada?
Nuada. Nuada. I didn't call him Duada.
It sounded like Duada, but okay.
Okay, whatever. He breaks in, he kills the power, and then one of the guys in the auction, I think the one who's holding the dog, I think he was like the Russian vampire from Blade 2, who was like in the beginning of the movie, and then Blade kills him at the very, very end.
Okay.
I keep talking about Blade. Monica, you know where else I talk about Blade?
On your channel?
On Patreon, we've been doing Blade Boys.
Blade Boys.
Because our Hellraiser show did so well, I started another series where me and my 2 friends who I review the Blade movies with, we're going through every episode of the Blade TV show.
Oh.
Yeah.
There was a TV show?
Yeah, in 2006. It's a continuation of the movies.
Oh.
But it's mostly about a sad vampire girl. Blade's just kind of there. Also, they do part of Blade's origin. Blade is a villain. There's an origin episode where you find out when he was like all in on being a vampire, he just turned a whole gang of people into vampires and then turned on them. And the whole episode, he has no remorse. He's just like, well, now I got to kill these people because they're evil vampires. And no one ever thinks to go, but it's your fault, you asshole. So that just shows you how good the Blade series is. Now you might be wondering, did Wesley Snipes agree to this? No.
Oh, I didn't think so.
They got Sticky Fingers to play Blade. Hip-hop artist Sticky Fingers. You know him more as one of the characters from Leprechaun Back to the Hood. I'm pretty sure that's where you know him from.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
So anyway, back to Hellboy.
Yeah.
I can talk about Blade, the TV series, all day, Monica, but I can only do it behind a paywall. Anyway, So yeah, he kills the power and he finds the crown piece, one of the crown pieces. Yeah, then they open a box, but then it cuts to the BPRD. And I forget if we mentioned this in the first movie or if it was just never mentioned. I knew it was Jersey, but this movie specifically says that the BPRD is in Trenton, New Jersey.
I think they mentioned it in the first one.
That's crazy. Hellboy's right over there?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't...
Because nobody wants to go to Trenton. No offense, anybody that lives in Trenton.
What's wrong with Trenton? They filmed Terrifier 1 there.
Oh, good for them.
I don't think they had to dress the set that much. I've been to Trenton a lot.
Yeah. That should tell you what you need to know.
My Trenton audience is rebelling on me right now. Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe I forgot about that in the first movie. Like, Trenton. But then I thought about they're going to Trenton to Manhattan. I'm like, that's a fucking hike. This movie makes it seem like it's 10 minutes.
I know. Well, it's BPRD. I guess they got fancy.
Maybe
they drive garbage trucks.
Yeah, I was going to say a garbage truck at night with traffic. Like, fuck you. They're not getting there that fast. Manning and Abe, they're arguing about Hellboy. He's being a show-off.
What's going on? Oh, it's Friday.
Like, this is just a thing that happens on Friday.
I made a note of the one line, which you have not yet.
Oh.
When Manning goes, God, I hate YouTube.
Depending on the month, I do too, Manning. I do too. I'm glad they brought Manning back with pre-cancellation Jeffrey Tambor. Because he's great in this. And we should say David Hyde Pierce did not come back to do the voice of Abe. They just let Doug Jones do it, and they sound like exactly the same.
I know, you don't know I mean, granted, the time has passed, but yeah, you don't know the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I know a little bit just because I watched a lot of Frasier growing up, but not enough where I'm like, oh no! I'm just like, nah, it's fine. Liz and Hellboy are going through a rough patch. Probably because she's a fire lady and he's a demon monster.
I feel like that should work.
No.
On paper.
No, he's a demon monster from outer space, and she's a fire lady from Earth.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, they're having a fight, and their problems are everyone's problems, because Manning and Abe almost die. They blow the fucking door off the hinges of Hellboy's
thing. How much of their budget goes to fixing everything that they break in their fights?
Why do they put Hellboy in the hallway with all the priceless artifacts? By the way, if you remember the first movie, the spear that killed Jesus is just in that hallway.
Spear of Longinus, right? Or something?
I thought you just...
I feel like it's this...
You said the spear of Longinas. I'm like, no, Monica, I don't know.
I think that's...
I don't know if it's pronounced like Longinas. I could be wrong, though. I don't know much about
Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, the spear that killed Jesus is there.
The spear of Longinas. Anyway...
Well, I was so confident about that. I don't.
And also, in the back of the hallway, there's that stone guy. I think we talked about him a little bit in the first week. There's like a character who's like encased in stone who is like a living thing. Mm-hmm. And now I'm just like, oh, did that door kill him? Oh, God, there's so many things that could go wrong here. All because Liz is just mildly irritated. But yeah, she's mad at Hellboy because he's bad at cleaning.
I mean, I get that.
I feel like she should have known going into this.
I mean, true. This is, you've seen how he lives.
Yeah. And also, aren't those people supposed to be cleaning up after him?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Well, he got rid of I forget the agent's name.
Oh, yeah, he didn't come back. He, lived, but he didn't come back.
Yeah, the excuse they make in the movie is that Hellboy got him assigned to
that Meyer.
Alaska
Sorry, I'm thinking of the other guy who was the guy with the hair plugs who was assigned to his room.
No, he died in the first movie.
I think he lived.
No,
I thought they said he was in critical, but he lived.
Oh,
if I remember right, he got injured, but I don't think he died. I could be wrong. Go back and watch our episode. Let me know if I'm wrong.
Because we don't remember.
Oh, but yeah, Meyer's just gone.
Yeah, he gets him reassigned to
Antarctica, which I thought was mean. I'm like, wait, Hellboy could just do that?
And I was like, he took care of you guys.
Yeah, well, the weird thing is you didn't need that character anymore. He was just a fish out of water, our introduction into this world, so you didn't need him. But you also didn't need to be mean and send him to Antarctica. You guys went on a really important adventure together.
Yeah, you could have been oh, we assigned him to the London office.
Yeah. It feels like they were punishing him or something.
Well, I guess he was really close with Liz, and Hellboy gets jealous.
Yeah, you gotta keep. You don't want your girl hanging out with a single guy. Definitely don't want that, Monica. They're ready to go on a mission. And Liz goes from being pissed at Hellboy to suddenly just like smiling because she's happy she's going to go on a mission. I do love that Manon is bribing Hellboy with cigars. He's like, please don't be seen by anything. Stay hidden and I'll give you these cigars. And I like Hellboy being like, I'll be like a shadow.
Like a shadow in the night.
He's really up in his game in this one around Perlman. He's really enjoying the character. But yeah, they search the place, the auction, but they don't find any of the people. But what they do find are these terrifying little tooth fairies, which are horrifying. I don't like them. So they attack. And by the way, I love the scene where like the floor is just all their crap from eating all the people.
They basically just eating shit.
Yeah. So they attack. Everyone's going crazy. This is where Abe like puts his hand on Liz to like hold her back, and then psychically he realizes she's pregnant. But he's like, "You're pregnant." And she's like, "No, I'm not." And then I have rest in peace, random guy.
Yeah, we also forgot to mention like the tooth fairy. Like the reason they can't find any bodies from anyone is because the tooth fairies eat them completely.
Everything. They're just completely devour them. Yeah, that guy gets completely decimated. But then like
they don't try very hard to keep their agents alive.
No, not really. Also, Liz, it's like, Liz, put the handgun down.
I know. Well, they're all doing that. And I know, like, she has the ability to kind of just...
And she can kind of control it now. It seems like she has it more under control than usual. But it's like, Liz, the handgun, you put that down 10 minutes ago and you put your fire. Shoot the fire.
Yeah, tell them to go hide.
Oh, it was so stupid that she waited so long. And meanwhile, Hellboy's like throwing the fat lady statue through the wall and everything, doing all this nonsense. We're like, Liz, fire now. I do like that right before she does that cheesy one-liner from the first movie, the "you should be running" thing.
Oh yeah.
It's like Selma Blair. It wasn't that cool in the first one. It's not that cool now. But I like when she tells him like, "Hey, don't go by that window," and Hellboy's like, "Oh, I got an idea.
I'm gonna do what I want."
So yeah, they blow up all the tooth fairies, and Hellboy falls into the crowd.
Letting everybody see him.
Yes. Everyone knows who he is now, which apparently in the comics, and from what I can tell from the other two movies, like the whole him being secret isn't like a thing in the comics. I think it's just everyone knows, like, there's Hellboy.
Yeah.
That'd be terrifying.
Well, it's like a certain universe. It's kind of like...
Yeah, but I'd be like, we're like, hey, the devil's over there. I'd be like, ah, that's horrifying. Let's get out of here.
So this is where the Blade Easter egg pops up.
Okay, where's the Blade Easter egg here?
So you know where they're doing the news, like they're showing on the news that like Hellboy exists now. You see the little, I don't know, what's it called at the bottom when it's like
the little ticker?
Yeah, the ticker. It talks about like Blade 2, and I don't know the exact. I didn't write the exact line down, but it says it in the ticker about Blade 2.
Wait, about the movie Blade 2 or?
Well, it says Blade 2.
I wonder what it says. Now I gotta look it up.
Yeah, look it up. But there's that Easter egg.
It's just Guillermo del Toro be like, if you're enjoying this movie, I also directed Blade 2.
Watch Blade 2, please.
Then we meet up with the prince again, and he's meeting with a thing. What was that thing? It wasn't like a elf. It was like a weird fleshy thing. I didn't like it.
Oh, do you mean when they're in the room before he can go to his
Yeah.
dad?
Yeah, there's
I don't know what that thing
fleshy
is.
thing. I don't like them.
But I like the pyramid head looking guards, so they were cool.
Those are kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah.
There's another guy later on that has like a carved wooden head, like it looks like a castle on his head. That guy's kind of cool. So yes, he wants to meet with the king. They won't let him. He's about to kill everyone, and Prince Nuada stops him. And then Hellboy, while this is happening, Hellboy is really enjoying his time on the news.
Yeah.
He loves it, and Liz is just going through every single pregnancy test.
And I have to wonder, like, she just keeps peeing.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can't have that much pee in you. Like, unless you're, like, quickly, like, trying to switch out pregnancy sticks while you're peeing. It doesn't work that way. And she's got, like, 50 of them on her lips.
And Hellboy's just like, oh, yep, she's just peeing a lot.
Yeah.
She drank a lot.
He's just reveling in the fact that the world knows who he is, and his girlfriend is peeing forever in the bathroom.
But yeah, we find out Washington is mad, and they're sending a mystery agent to take care of things. And now the prince meets with his dad. And he's just like, Dad, we gotta go to war.
Dad, it's been too long.
Because I hate shopping centers. And someone
Parking lots.
someone should tell him, like, hey, don't worry, man. It's all going to be like at-home shopping soon.
Yeah.
And those will just be relics of the past. You probably could move into the local mall. No one will know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nuada's just like, or the king is just like, nah, I don't want to do that. And you want to do that, so I'm sentencing you to death. And I like this, where Nuada looks at his sister, and he's like, are you okay with this? She's like, yeah. And he's like, all right, well, gotta go kill everyone and my dad now. And then I do like when the twins get a bloody nose at the same time. And that's a cool foreshadowing. So when these things die, they turn to wax?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
No.
And I don't know if it's like some fairy tale related thing.
I don't know. It looked cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, he like stabs him and he's just like, I'm wax now, except for the piece of my crown. That's the only thing that's not wax, apparently. So yeah, he gets the piece, but Nuala gets away and she has the third piece.
Yep.
And he's like, shit. Then we get the best character of the movie. Johann Krauss.
He is a lot of fun.
Played by Seth MacFarlane.
He kind of reminds me of like a Scooby-Doo villain if he turned good, you know?
And Seth MacFarlane he's playing Krauss, but he feels like he's using his voice the voice of Klaus from American Dad, the fish,
And
the
this
German
is
fish.
apparently his first movie role.
Really? He didn't have
Yeah.
like a bit part in anything before that?
Apparently this was his first movie role. Although like it's just his voice, but like
Yeah.
maybe that, I don't know.
Huh. Feels like he would be in more things. He eventually was in more things.
Yeah.
Look, Ted 1 I thought was okay, but I didn't watch Ted 2 or the new TV show. Should I bother with any of those?
Well, this is me, so I don't remember what happens in Ted 2.
Okay.
The TV show, I try to watch it because a lot of people are like, oh, it's great. Like, the characters on the show are great. And the mom is hilarious, and I forget what her name is. Lisa Olbach or something. She's great. And, like, they're okay, but it just wasn't enough to keep me, like, coming back to watch the episodes.
Maybe I'll give it a chance. I don't know. I thought Ted 1 was okay. Just didn't rewatch it.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm trying again. But yeah, he is great in this. So he's made out of like what do they call it? It's like ecto vapor, not like ectoplasm, some other different word.
It's something with like vapors.
Yeah, so he's basically like a ghost.
Yeah.
He like
ghost in a suit.
Yeah, he did some experiment. He's a ghost, so he like puts his ghost form in a suit so he can have like a physical form.
And he can control other like forms.
Yes,
too.
I like that he possesses the Tooth Fairy to get information out of it. And it's like yelling at Hellboy, which I thought was fun. You'd only do it temporarily, though.
Yeah.
But it tells them about a troll market. And none of them believe in the troll market.
Which is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. You've dealt with all this supernatural world for...
And they're like, it's a myth. I'm like, well, maybe it's not. You just didn't find it. But yeah, they prepare to enter the market, which is under the Brooklyn Bridge. And everyone's making fun of Hellboy. They're like, we are ugly. And he's like, okay.
Whatever. I didn't think it would be like this.
Yeah, it's like, what did you expect, buddy? Most people aren't used to seeing the devil every day.
I do love when Johann gives he gives them all like the goggles so that they can see.
Yeah.
And Abe's putting on and he's like, ooh, look at these tight little leather straps. I was like, oh, buddy. There's something about you.
All right, Abe, slow down there. Okay.
I don't think your body does well with little leather straps.
But I like because it shows you the true nature of things. Because there's a protection spell around the market, so you can't find it. And I do love the little callback to the first one. Hellboy's like, how do you know they work? And they turn on, it's him with his horns and the fire. I'm like, that's kind of fun. That's a fun little reference. Not dwelling on too much of what happened in the previous movie. Although they do call back to it again. They mention his purpose in life, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, they confront a troll lady who eats cats.
And Hellboy doesn't like
Hellboy
that.
is not into the cat
I
eating.
don't like it either.
What's worse, eating cats or touching this thing?
Don't do it. Eating cats is obviously worse, but
For
don't touch it.
for the podcast listeners, they're probably like, "Was Tony about to eat a cat?" Because they can't see what I'm doing.
Leave Space Cat alone.
Oh God, no, she's on my shit list. She's on my shit list.
Cats.
Yeah, so they're afraid of canaries.
Oh, the trolls.
Yeah. They're just scared of canaries. So yeah, she brings him to the door. I like that he ends up punching the lady. That was fun.
And Johann's like, this is how you solve all your problems.
Just punching it. I like that he puts his soul into the door to unlock it. He's pretty much invincible, this freaking Johann guy. If the Golden Army took over, he'd be like, I don't fucking care. I'll be fine. So yeah, the market looks cool as hell.
I love the market. I
And
love all the
God
creatures.
damn it. Pause 1 second, because I have art related to the scene. Yes, they entered the troll market, and I have this lovely art here. I forget the name of the artist, but he drew Abe and Hellboy entering the troll market, which just looks really cool.
I was trying to see if you could see the artist's name on there.
No, it's like he put like an exclamation point.
Okay.
I don't know. This was a gift. I don't know who
Maybe
it's
he
actually.
signed like the back or something.
Maybe. I should have checked after. You might notice there's no glass here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this took a tumble. I need to get a new frame for it. So I'm going to put it over here for the rest of the episode. If that takes another tumble.
Don't blame me.
I can't believe I forgot to put that up there.
You don't have anything else Hellboy lying around, right?
Oh, that's right. Ron Perlman's here. I gotta get I'm sorry, Ron, get over here.
Forgot about you.
I forgot about Ron. Oh, God damn.
He's just in the shadows smoking his cigar.
So the troll market
Yeah.
is very, very cool. A lot of interesting monsters.
Okay, there is one monster that I don't understand why he was included.
Is it one that they interact with, or is it like a background one?
It's a background one.
Okay, who's the monster that was included?
He's just a really heavy-set guy with a potato sack over his head and like furry arms. I don't know.
Oh, that's cool as hell. What are you talking about?
It's really creepy.
So that reminds me of classic Star Wars, the first movie, before they added shit, where it'd be like, I'm a cool alien. The other one would be like, I'm a werewolf mask. It was like, oh, okay, well, you don't look as cool as that.
I feel, it's like you're gonna have to. We'll bring this scene up later, so I can point him out to you.
Okay.
But like, it's kind of disturbing. And I don't know if they were like, yeah, we're going to add more effects to him later. And they forgot.
Like, no, fuck it. They're there because the princess is also there. Abe is going after the princess. And then they get information from some guy who has a baby, but it's not a baby.
It's a tumor.
It's an annoying fucking tumor. It's just real rude and mean. Like,
Well,
what?
then it's like, and then when like Hellboy apologizes,
Yeah.
he's just like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay, you beat my body up. It's cool.
Well, like when Krauss is like, sorry, baby. Like, I'm not a baby. So yeah, then we meet the guy with the cool wooden head.
With the city head. I
Yeah.
feel like you should emphasize that.
Yeah, it looks like a city. It looks like a carved city. I'm just like, was he born like that? Or did this guy just have the
Maybe
top?
it grows with age. Like with your wisdom, you add more onto your.
Do people
like...
live in the city in his head?
No, I just meant like he's gaining wisdom from like the
Or is this
world
like,
around him.
or is this like body modification? Like he's just like, I'm gonna carve my head.
Maybe.
I don't know how these
I
creatures
don't think
work.
a lot of people come into a shop.
He has a lot of maps though, and he gives the princess a map to where
Yeah.
they can find the Golden Army. Then Abe shows up, and the princess she also has psychic powers, so she's able to like reach into his
Yeah, they
mind.
have that like romantic moment where they touch hands.
Yeah. They're like it's like kind of like Spock doing the mind meld. They mind meld with each other. And then Mr. Wink attacks, and there's a big fight. Great fight. Ron Perlman's hilarious during it. I do like when his hand gets broken, he's like mad about it. He's like, "Rah, rah, rah." So it's like a hand, but it also has like a chain. It's got a mind of its own, kind
Yeah.
of. And then, what do you know? There just happens to be a meat grinder in the wall.
I mean, that makes sense for the city.
I guess so. But you probably don't want to fight in front of it because Mr. Wick, he
You
doesn't make
probably
it.
don't want to wear loose clothing near it either.
No. And no attempt to help him, by the way. Hellboy's like, sucks for you. Goodbye.
Yeah, I feel like I would have tried to help him, like, after the hand got mangled.
Yeah.
And, like, chop it off somehow.
Yeah,
Be
once
like-
he gets pulled into the thing, it's like, oh, no, you're on your own, buddy.
Yeah. And they tell Nuada that, and Nuada is actually really upset that Wink is dead.
Well, he's sad when any, like, fairy tale creature dies.
I know, but
that
like,
he
Wink
likes.
was like his best friend.
Yeah, that was his bro that he was hanging
Yeah.
out with. Yeah, I feel bad for him. He meets Hellboy, and he's mad that they aren't on the same side.
Yeah.
He's
Gives him
like,
that whole like monster speech.
yeah, he's like, come on, man, you should be with our side. Even though technically your parents were giant Cthulhu monsters who probably would destroy
and your mom
my
is
world
a
too.
human, so ooh.
Well, not this version of Hellboy. I know we watched the other two movies, but I think this
am I
version of
mixing it up?
Hellboy, it's the Cthulhu monsters who birthed him.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, the version in the other two movies, which I guess is from the comics, makes a little bit more sense because why would 7 Cthulhu monsters make a weird generic devil thing that looks nothing like them? But Del Toro really wanted weird Cthulhu monsters.
Well, I mean, the comics do have like Lovecraftian
Yeah, it's
stories.
just weird that they're like the parents of Hellboy. I'm like, he looks nothing like that. When I saw the other origin and saw it was from the comics, I'm like, all right, that makes a little bit more sense.
I guess I thought, for some reason, I thought it was somehow included. Like she was still part of it.
No, they don't mention his mom
It
at
was
all
like
in
a
this.
half human. Okay,
No, as in this,
we're gonna get really lost in this.
this version of Hellboy, as far as we know, he has no mother. It's just the 7 Cthulhu guys made him
Okay.
somehow.
Space orgy.
Yeah. So yeah, they argue, and then he releases a plant monster that bursts out of the
With the
ground.
jumping bean of evil.
Yeah.
Is this cute little jumping bean?
It's like, burp, 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 and it
Like
goes
a
into the
Jack
water.
And the Beanstalk kind of thing. Boop, boop,
Yeah,
boop,
and he is a forest god. And he was told to kill Hellboy, so he starts causing havoc. This thing looks cool as hell, too.
boop. Yeah, it is.
It's got a really cool face, how the leaf makes his face. This is a fun scene because the whole time Hellboy has to save a baby. Like, he's constantly holding this baby at every moment.
And the mom too, is like her baby's trapped in the car.
Yeah.
And she's freaking out. And then Hellboy's like, oh, I'll come and help you out.
Mm.
And she's just like, and then she starts backing up, leaving her baby but in this car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm
Well,
sorry. I
okay.
feel like I would still like accept help from this demon creature.
I don't know. If the devil showed up, I'd be like, ah!
Okay, but I would have seen him on the news and know that he's like trying
Maybe
to
she
help
doesn't
people.
watch the news because it's so negative.
She looks pretty negative. She looks like a real Karen.
But yeah, so he's holding on to this baby during a fight. I like when he throws it up in the air to load the gun and grabs it. But then we have this scene where he gets 2 shots into it, which hurt it, but he's got to shoot it in the head, like its big glowing head. And the whole time, Krauss is like, shoot it in the head! Shoot it in the head! And it's like, Krauss, couldn't you, like, possess it and then rip your own head off?
Maybe there's because it's not. Maybe because it's no, because he does it later. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Anyway,
But I feel like this scene also, like when they're fighting the big plant monster, it's very like Cloverfield.
a little bit, yeah. It was the same year as Cloverfield, I think.
Was it?
I think Cloverfield was 2008.
Okay.
Maybe 2007, like late 2007. It was around that time. But yeah, then the scene gets real sad because Nuada's like, oh, by the way, that's like the last of its kind. And all these people are
Just
going to
like
hate you.
Like
Yeah,
you're
just
the only
like
of
you.
your kind.
But like if you kill it, that's it. And you're going to kill it to save these people. And they're all assholes. And then Hellboy reluctantly kills the thing. And it's got like the saddest death. Like it turns into a bunch of flowers.
Yeah, everything it touches and melts it. Like
Yeah.
the car turns into like nature and all that.
Yeah. Really, really sad scene. And then Nuada's kind of right because afterwards the humans are like, fuck you, devil. Get out. And then Liz is like, please, we're just like you. And then the crowd should be like, all right, well, maybe you, but the other 2 are.
But also I like the shot of him like before the fight where he's on the light, but you just see him on the big H.
Oh, yeah. That was cool. But
And
yeah.
they're also because they're right outside of the movie theater. The movie theater has Frankenstein.
He's finally making that, isn't he?
Yeah, I think production's done. Like
Okay.
filming is done. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So
I'm excited. Who else is in that? I know
Jacob Elordi's in it.
Okay.
For some reason, I only remember that Jacob Elordi's in it.
Is Oscar Isaac in that, I think?
I think so.
Is Christian Bale in that, or is he in a different...
No, he's in the Bride of Frankenstein movie that Maggie Gyllenhaal is doing.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize there were so many coming out.
Is it the Bride of Frankenstein? It's something like that.
Yeah. This isn't the Dark Universe, right?
No.
I do like that they were like, our shared universe failed. We're just going to make, here's a Wolfman. It's another Wolfman.
Yeah, I think now they said, like, in a way, they're probably making the Dark Universe, but, like, they're not calling it the Dark Universe.
No, don't worry. They're still using the Dark Universe because they trademarked it. Now the Universal Monsterland and Universal is called the Dark Universe.
But I just mean, like, these movies are coming out.
Yeah.
They're just kind of saying...
Universal, they put 2 Dracula movies out. 3 if you count Abigail. Because I guess that guy was Dracula at the end. We're like, yeah, here's a bunch of Dracula movies, and then no one really watches them except for me. So I don't know why they're doing so many. But yeah, I'm glad he's finally doing Frankenstein, because I think he had like an idea where Hellboy would fight like the classic monsters in like a third one. I don't know how that would tie into the end of the world, but okay. Liz gets angry and flames on and scares the crowd. She also wants to leave for a few days.
Yeah, she needs space.
This is not the time to do that, lady. There's a lot going on right now. I know you're pregnant and stressed, but you better tell him that if you're going to leave for a few days, because right now it just makes you seem like you're a terrible person. And Abe, he's simping. He's simping for the princess.
He's simping so hard, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Abe likes... What do you be like?
What are you trying to say here?
I just feel weird that Abe's just like, I love that girl. And I'm like, wouldn't you
just met her?
Wouldn't you be attracted to fish, ladies?
Do you think he's seeing a lot of fish ladies?
Was Abe made, or is he like belong to us like a species of fish people?
So I think I don't remember what it was in the comics. I feel like he was engineered.
Okay.
But I feel like in this movie, I think they say like he was found as like an egg or something.
I think they found him in a tank in the first one, they said. Okay, so we don't know his origin.
I'm pretty sure he was created.
If he was created, then fine. But I feel like if he belongs to another species, he should be like, ew, get that elf lady away from me. I need a fish lady. How would they have sex is what I want to know. Does he have a penis? How does she have sex? What does she?
I'm sure he probably does. I don't know.
Is he gonna be like, hey lady, you want to lay your eggs down and I'll fertilize them? She'll be like, wait, what? Like, yeah, is that how you guys do it? What's going on here?
I don't think she would question it. I think she'd be like, okay.
Well, we know that the fish guy who looks like Abe in Shape of Water has a penis, but we really need to figure out if Abe has a penis. All right, I really need to figure.
All right, we're gonna go down this rabbit hole.
Let's call Del Toro. Hey, Del Toro. Congratulations on your Frankenstein movie.
And let's look up Hellboy.
You should have came back
for work art.
I really wish you came back for Pacific Rim 2 because that movie sucked. Does Abe have a penis? We find out that was Mike Mignola's issue with these two movies. They never stressed that he had a penis, and it really upset me.
God damn it.
Anyway, Monica, stop talking about Abe's penis. We got to get through this movie.
The girl that loves monsters should know, but...
Yeah, you're really dropping the ball here.
I'm sorry.
Does Abe have balls that...
Gonna go down a weird rabbit hole later.
Him and the princess are trying to figure out the map, but the parchment is blank. Yeah. There's nothing on it, and they think maybe there's a magic spell. And Monica, we have to talk about exploitation in these comic book films. I hate when they try to exploit people, and they have nudity for nudity's sake. And I think they should have deleted this picture of Hellboy showering naked. I feel like this scene should have been deleted. Doesn't drive the story forward at all. It's gratuitous. It's exploiting Ron Perlman. Should have been deleted. How do you feel?
I don't remember the scene.
How do you, of all people, not remember this fucking scene?
You know what? I might have. The dogs might have been barking outside, so I might have gotten up during this to.
You're like, oh no, I missed the best scene in the movie. Yeah, there's a naked showering Hellboy scene. I mean, you see a little bit of his butt, but that's it.
Well, I'm gonna be up all night
And
now.
a whole funny thing here. God
I'm
damn.
sorry. God. Hellboy showering scene. What's going on?
Now this don't look it up right now. But this part is pretty funny because after he's done showering, he's like got the towel, and then we see Krauss also in the locker room, and he also has a towel. And I'm like, did he shower in his suit? Did he shower his vapor form? Why is he in the shower? Why does he have a towel? It doesn't make any sense.
Maybe like the steam from the shower like cleans him. I don't know.
Well, he picks a good time to get into an argument with Hellboy, and he tells him to stay fuck-used.
You will learn to obey me, follow protocol, and stay fuck-used at all times.
That word.
Which this is a PG-13 movie. Funny way around using the F word.
Focused? I can't say it right.
Hellboy fuck-used is what he says. He meant to say focused, but...
I know, but the accent, I feel like I can't say it. Okay.
I do love when Hellboy punches him, and this scene's great. He just goes into the lockers, and he just beats the shit out of Hellboy with the lockers.
Yeah.
And, like, you don't really think of Ron Perlman as a good, like, physical comedy guy, but he's killing it here. He's just getting fucking pummeled by them. And I love that Krauss could just skip around naked in his ghost form. Like, he starts singing and leaves.
I mean, he might be.
He could be, yeah.
We don't know what he gets up to in his spare time.
I guess it's just easier to pick things up if you're in the suit.
Yeah.
I do love that part where it's just ghost form is just skipping down the hall. But then this is where Hellboy hears sad love songs. And this part is great where it's like Barry Manilow, like you said. He opens up the door and it's classical music and Abe's just there with the remote. He's like, I'm listening to this. He's like, no, you weren't. And they're sad because Liz is mad at Hellboy and Abe is in love with the princess who he just met. Like, dude, give it like,
yeah, he's
falling too hard, too fast. Well, I guess the psychic thing bonds their minds, so that speeds things up. I don't know. But yeah, they sing, and it's really funny. And then the prince arrives. He sneaks in. He's like petting a dog, and you find out he killed like all the guards outside.
I love that, and he's just like, yeah. Good boy. Good boy. It's like, thank you for not killing the dog.
The princess goes to burn the map to get it out of his hands. Then we skip back to them talking, Hellboy and Abe. And I do love this part where because Abe knows why Liz is upset.
Yeah.
But Hellboy doesn't. He's like, why don't you just ask her? And he
they're
has a
awkwardly like over her bed having this conversation.
Yeah. But Abe, like, Hellboy has a good point. He's like, no, they get angry if you ask, because then they said you had to ask, and I had to, me and Hellboy, I've experienced that a couple times, where I'm like, they're really angry.
It's called paying attention to your partner.
No.
No, you should.
No, I was paying it. It's more just like they gave no hints or anything. Or they're mad about something that happened like 3 weeks ago and bring it up randomly because they were thinking about it. Like, how do I know you were supposed to be thinking about it? Anyway, I really related to Hellboy there. Are you telling me you relate to Liz in the situation?
Yeah.
Fish people don't have to deal with it.
Apparently he does. I don't know.
Hellboy was describing a human-ish woman. But fish people and elf people, they probably don't have to worry about these problems. No. Well, they don't because they're psychic. They don't have to guess.
True.
They just know.
Oh, that's going to be real awkward.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, so
Abe almost spills the beans.
Yes, but he stops himself. But the prince...
Well, no, Liz gets up.
Yes, Liz gets
up.
She
wakes up at the best time. And she's like, Abe!
They were not being quiet in front of her.
She was like literally just trying to pretending. I guess she was pretending to stay asleep.
Yeah. Which is kind of cute. But yeah, she stops him. But the prince interrupts Nuala as she's burning everything. And he tells her, he's like, oh no, the paper wasn't important. It was the cylinder. No one bothered to look at like the etching on the cylinder. And he rubs it over like a thing and it burns the map location into whatever kind of like paper they have there. But yeah, he tries to read her mind to find the missing piece because she hid it in a blue book that she was talking about with Abe. And he's going through every single blue book.
And this is where it gets like real incesty, incestuous, I should say. Because he's like, you always look great in blue, sister. I'm like, okay. Okay.
I don't think I've ever said anything remotely like that to my sister. But yeah, he's going through every single blue book looking for this goddamn piece. I guess he can read her mind just enough, but not like fully.
Yeah, I guess they don't touch hands. I don't know.
I guess not.
I don't know how it fully works.
And we learn that he can't just like punch her for information. We learn why in like a couple minutes. Because that was me. I'm like, why don't you just punch her and tell her, like, give me the piece? The alarm gets signaled and security comes up with Abe. And then this is where we learn that the twins are, like, connected.
Yeah.
Because what does he do? He, like, kind of cuts her cheek and then his cheek starts to bleed, I think. I love when Hellboy comes in to fight. He's just drunk, tumbling down the stairs.
It's like, I got this.
It was like, ugh. But yeah, so he has to fight the prince, but he can't actually hit the prince.
But it's funny how like they have a conversation. He's like, "Yeah, I'll battle you, and I'll kick your ass."
Yeah.
And then like Abe's like, "No, you can't hurt him because you'll hurt the princess." And he's like, "Why didn't anyone tell me this before?"
But then Nuada stabs him with the spear. And he's like, hey, you might be wondering if you're immortal or not. And he's like, well, you're about to find out. And he like breaks it off in his heart. And now he demands that the BPRD bring him the spear, not the spear piece, the crown piece. He's like, you look for it. Even though technically he's strong enough to kill everyone in that room and just continue going through the blue books. Or I guess maybe if one of them gets a shot off on the princess, that could probably do something. Yeah, maybe he's just playing it safe. But he tells him, like, Abe, you better get this piece and bring it to this location.
Yeah, if you don't want my sister to die.
Done. So yeah, they can't remove the spear without killing Hellboy. And it gets closer and closer to his heart. And he has a moment to tell Liz how important she is to him, which is nice. Abe finds the piece. And they plan to go to Ireland, but then Krauss and Manning are like, no, we're not going there. Why would we bring the piece there? As long as it's separated, he can't activate the army. And
sorry, Abe.
And then Abe lies about not finding the piece. He's like, oh, we're still looking. He like puts it behind him. Oh yeah, Krauss decides to join Abe and Liz on their mission.
Yeah.
Because he once had a wife, and whatever their backstory was, it's the reason he looks the way he looks now.
Yeah, he was doing some experiments, so probably to like save her.
Yeah, he's like, Liz, I don't want you to lose the person you love because I once lost love.
Your Johann accent is horrible. Impersonation, I mean.
I do some good accents.
Okay. You kind of sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like, Liz, I don't want you.
He's Austrian. Klaus is German. It's the same thing. They land in Ireland, and then the goblin from the prologue is there.
Yeah.
Just hanging out. And he's like, hey, what's up? I'll show you the way to the place, but you got to trade something. I do like when she's like, magical seeing eyes, and he just goes, no, I have binoculars.
Like, bitch, I know what they are.
Like, no, I'm aware of what those are. But yeah, he wants the shiny piece in Hellboy, but they tell him, they're like, we can't remove it.
Yeah.
And he's like, hold on, I know a guy. Let's go meet with this guy.
I've been around a while.
So I like that the entrance is underneath a giant's crotch, apparently. A big stone giant gets up, and there's like a doorway down to this area where the Golden Army is. So yeah, this goblin tells him that like it used to be like a big city, and then they moved the Golden Army there, and then for whatever reason, things started dying around them. Like the city just kind of dried up or whatever, and I guess everyone moved out. There was a darkness with the Gold Army, I guess. And he's like, oh, by the way, I usually live here by myself, but there's another guy who's here, so let's go meet the Angel of Death.
He likes to hang out here.
He apparently likes hanging out there, and he looks like the scariest goddamn thing I've ever seen.
He is very Del Toro coded.
Yeah, but I think he's also played by Doug Jones, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks like a leftover creature from Pan's Labyrinth.
Pretty much. It's, yeah.
He is horrifying. He's like, oh yeah, I know this Hellboy guy. I'm the one who's going to see him when he dies.
And he's just got a picture of him on like the ground.
Yeah. I guess those are all possible apocalypses that could happen. They meet with him and he's just like, hey, look, I can bring him back to life, but you understand that he is destined to destroy the world. Which I thought we kind of covered that in the first movie. I thought he put a stop to that.
Well, I guess he's saying like it's gonna eventually happen, like whatever path you take.
How many of those big stones that he has to unlock could there be on Earth?
Well, there's other ways to start the apocalypse.
That all involve him and the squids?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, I guess there's other people out there that need Hellboy to fuel their apocalypse. But yeah, he tells him like, yeah, he's gonna end the world. You're playing with fire here. And then Liz is like, I'm known for playing with fire, actually. It's kind of like my whole deal. But yeah, she chooses Hellboy over the world.
Don't do that. That's called love, Tony.
I mean, it's just like the angel of death tells me, it's like, hey, if you save this person, everyone is going to die. And I'm like, well, I don't want everyone to die. I mean,
yeah, but Liz doesn't like people. So
not
that
true.
makes sense.
People were kind of mean to her.
So she's just like, oh,
she's like, I might make it out of the apocalypse. I think I'm good. So yeah, he saves her, and then that angel guy just disappears. Maybe they will come back in the third film that never got made. Aww. So yeah, she has to give him a reason to live, though. The spear's out, but he won't be healed until he's given a reason to live, and she mentions that she's pregnant. And he's like, "Oh no, I've become father." And now they're like, "Wow, what a heart-touching moment. We got to go fight a golden army now."
Yeah, the whole pregnancy storyline is just weird. And it feels like it was just forced in to give a reason for him to like.
I mean, it's part of his character arc of him having to mature.
Yeah.
But it would have worked better if there was a proper third film where it got followed up on.
Yeah.
So I understand that, but like right now it's just like an extra thing he has to deal with in his maturing arc. But yeah, it would have been nice to see what they did with that going forward. It's like the babies in Spawn season 3, the animated Spawn series. Wanda gets pregnant. Spawn pretends to be her husband, which is kind of problematic of Spawn, but then again, he is a hell guy. And he gets her pregnant, and that's like a cliffhanger. It's like, what's going to happen with the baby? The comics did the storyline. Spawn didn't get her pregnant in the comics, and the babies turned out to be God and the devil.
Oh, okay.
And Spawn had to fight both of them and kill them.
As babies?
No, they eventually... Actually, literally, it might be in that book that you're staring at right now. That's the Spawn Volume 3 compendium. It's like...
massive.
I didn't realize they made these... Can you hold that up for a second? By the way, we did review the Spawn movie. I didn't realize they made these giant-ass compendiums. So for years, I've just been buying these different volumes of Spawn. I'm like, you could have told me my whole collection I could have fit into 2 giant books. So I went and got the third giant book.
What's this football scene about? Okay.
I have no idea. I haven't read it yet.
Oops, sorry.
I've read the first 100 comics, but I'm going to go through all of them. Anyway. So yeah, we never figure out what the whole twin plot line is. You know what else ended, I think, on a baby's cliffhanger?
What?
Adventures of Lois and Clark, the 90s Superman show. I think Lois got pregnant at the end of that show.
Oh, really?
And then they canceled the show, and it's like, oh, what's going to happen there? But yes, Hellboy is back. And he's like, all right, let's go kick some ass. They enter the chamber of the Golden Army. Mm-hmm. And they're like, all right, buddy, we don't even have the piece, so we're just going to duke it out. And you're going to go to hell. And Abe's like, I got it. They're like, Abe, no!
God damn it, Abe!
No, Abe!
They yell at him for like doing this for love. And it's like, look what you guys just did.
Yeah, the bad time. Yeah, Hellboy's like, I got to tell you about women. It's like, Hellboy, you've had one girlfriend. And shut up. She just ruined the world to save your ass.
She's going to bring on the apocalypse just to save you.
He forms the crown and starts the Golden Army up. Big machine activates all of them.
Yeah.
And there's like a fun fight scene with them. But they're like repairing themselves, and even Krauss is able to. I do like that Krauss possesses one and it turns blue.
Yeah, and it kind of turns the tides for them a bit.
For a little bit, but no matter what happens, they will piece themselves back together and just grow again. So they have to come up with a plan, and then Hellboy remembers that you can challenge for the crown.
Which was this discussed at any point before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because John Hurt says that the king was like, "Who challenges me?" and no one said anything.
In the beginning.
But you have to be royalty, which luckily Hellboy is, because he's Anu Nanrama or whatever the name is. Whatever his magical name is. They're like, and like the prince, by the way, the princess knows about it. She's like, "Oh yeah, he's this guy. The guy who's gonna kill us all? That prince, my brother, you keep trying to team up with him, but you really shouldn't, because he's kind of a bigger problem than all the humans."
Gonna kill everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, we know him. He's a king. He's allowed to do it.
This is valid.
So yeah, he challenged him. Hellboy roughs up the prince. And every time he gets hurt, every time he hurts the princess gets a little damaged.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have a really cool fight scene on those big gears, the big cogs and gears. They love it. But yeah, he defeats Nuada, but he doesn't want to kill him.
Yeah,
but apparently you
he
have
wants
to
save the princess for
Yeah.
Abe.
But he's like, "Please kill me, because I'll never stop. I'll just keep going and going."
I mean, I believe him because he's waited how many years before starting this, so.
By the way, I mentioned this in the other two movies I reviewed Luke Goss in, but I should mention it to you, especially since we just mentioned Frankenstein.
Mr. Worldwide, yeah.
Luke Goss, maybe there was a TV show that did it, but there was a made-for-TV Frankenstein adaptation from 2004.
Okay.
It is the most accurate.
Oh, wait, I think I remember this.
It's the most accurate Frankenstein adaptation. It's not the biggest budget Frankenstein adaptation, but he is, as far as I can tell, the most book-accurate creature yet. Because the book-accurate creature had like kind of like palish, yellowish skin with long black hair, and then after Boris Karloff, they're like, "Nope, everyone's stitched together." I don't know. So I just remembered. I'm like, "Oh wait, there was a Frankenstein Del Toro this guy connection. I got a connection here."
So wait, was Luke Goss Frankenstein?
He was the creature.
Okay.
Yes, he was the Frankenstein monster. Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
what I was trying to figure out. Well, it's like, wait, did we make connections and he's not in the show?
No. Because now when I think about him, I'm just like, oh yeah, it's like the Frankenstein novel. He is the only one who actually looked like the novel, kind of. I mean, he's not 9 foot, but whatever. But yeah, so he threatens to kill everyone. He goes to kill Hellboy, who takes the crown, but then the sister, which something she probably should have done like right at the start, kills herself.
Yeah.
To stop him, which is sad.
Yeah, Abe's lost his would-be girlfriend.
Yes, but also this is kind of a little too similar to the ending of Blade 2, when the vampire lady dies and Blade holds him. It's like, okay, Del Toro, you kind of already did this. But yeah, like she's like dying and having this moment with him. Meanwhile, Nuada is just like, "Oh my God, people are awful. You're gonna kill all of them." And then they turn to wax, and he just crumbles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Golden Army is indestructible, but the crown isn't.
So I have this note. I was like, couldn't Liz have melted the pieces of the crown that they had in the beginning or whenever they got it and be done with this?
During that fight, couldn't she have thrown fire at his head?
That too.
Even if she can't burn the Golden Army, it would hold them back.
It would have hurt Nuala though, but like,
I mean, oh well, I was gonna say it's either that or the world gets taken over, but she doesn't fucking care about that. But yeah, I'm just like, wait, the crown can be burnt? I'm like,
yeah, the crown can be melted.
I feel like that could have solved a lot of problems.
The army just like goes back to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Can the goblin make another crown?
Probably.
He's still alive.
He was remorseful, remember? Because he was the one.
Yeah. Also, he's not looking good. He mentions like his, like where he was working, cut his legs off.
Yeah.
But I'm like, buddy, you can make all these things. You could
very poor factory conditions.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, why didn't you make like robot legs for yourself?
Nope.
But yeah, so they burn the crown, which is something you can do. And then they get out and they all decide to quit the BPRD. They let Manning know. They're like,
I don't really know how they're gonna fund their lifestyle without the BPRD, but
yeah, that's a little confusing. How are they gonna do it?
no, like I mean, Liz could possibly get a normal job, but like she has a temper, so
she could work on volcanoes, volcano research. She doesn't have to spend money on like a suit or anything. Like, she can just go into the volcano.
Yeah. So.
So yeah, they all just quit, which I didn't see this coming. Them just quitting. I don't know really what motivated that. I know they're having issues with him becoming public and stuff, but I don't know why they had to just straight up quit.
I guess because I don't know.
I guess because they're
the
having
BPRD
kids,
was
maybe
stopping them. I don't.
That I guess I can see like Liz and Hellboy because they're about to have kids.
But this is also when she tells him that they're having twins.
Yes.
Because he just thinks he's having one kid, and then she's like, 2.
Freeze frame. And then the music kicks in.
And I put my note here. I was like, I hope their twins don't have an incest vibe. That's my last note of this movie.
But yeah, great movie.
No, I did enjoy it.
I love this one.
I love
the
Del Toro Hellboy movies.
Yes, even if maybe they're not super comic accurate, but as their own thing, they are very, very good. They're really good
They
stories.
still borrow elements from the comics, so it's not like he wrote a completely different story.
And by the way, like the comics are still like young compared to other comic franchises. This isn't like Superman that's been around since the 30s or Batman. Like those first few decades, you could kind of like change things with your superheroes. So I don't think he needs to be super accurate. But no, I thought it was a solid time. It was a good part too. Unfortunately, it just didn't do the numbers it needed to, and then The Dark Knight took over.
Yeah.
But it's just weird that they didn't, because these do have like a cult following. They do well in retrospect. Like, it would have been nice to just get one more.
Yeah, just to round out the trilogy.
Just one more to finish it. Instead, they decided years later to reboot it. And Monica, we will be talking about that later this week.
Yes, we will.
Well, we're going to talk about it in 5 minutes, but you will have to.
I'm going to wear the same exact outfit for it.
You will have to wait till later this week to see what we think of Hellboy 2019.
And it's going to be amazing.
And Hellboy the Crooked Man. Not even Hellboy versus the Crooked Man, just Hellboy the Crooked Man.
Yeah, it's kind of like a comic book like title.
Anyway, that is it from us. Hellboy 2 is great. Oh yeah. Do you like it more than the first one or no? Still like the first one more?
I feel like I'm kind of like they're equal for me. Like it's hard for me to like. There's things I like in the first movie, and then there's like things that I like in the second movie. Like Johann's great; he's a great addition to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the first one. I think I might like the first one more.
They are both really good. I think I lean more toward this one though. I've seen the first one more, but I think I really enjoy this one more. But yeah, you win either way. You win either way, and it's great if you like special effects, monsters, and all that stuff. You get everything in this one. But yes, please check it out. Please like, share, subscribe. Come back later this week for our other Hellboy episode. We talk a lot about hell, apparently, me and Monica.
We might have a problem.
We have to go back to the church, or else we will be in hell after we die, still talking about movies.
I can't wait to do that confession to the priest. Like, I watch a lot of... I can't talk. I watch a lot of things with hell in it. I read a lot of things about hell. Should I be worried about my immortal soul?
And then he'll be like, did you donate this week? Yes. Yeah, you'll be fine. But yes, goodbye, everyone.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.